Okay, let's have a more serious talk today. We're going to talk about autism and the need to appear more mature than you actually are. I was diagnosed with Asperger's when I was about 10 years old. It's since changed to autism spectrum disorder, but what I was diagnosed with still applies to me. Um, I was always told from a very young age that I was very mature for my age. Um, by like around 13, I had adults who would come to me with their problems and look for advice from a 13-year-old, and they would take that advice to heart. And I thought that that is what I always wanted in life, was to be this person that's very assertive and very helpful and very mature to give advice. I was 13 though. I didn't realize how weird this would be, not just for these adults coming to me, but just I didn't get to experience that whole childhood because I was always viewed as, you're mature, you're this person who has these qualities that other people want. Um, I didn't realize this until this past year, about looking back on my childhood, how sometimes I do wish I could go back and live some of that childhood I never got to live. I was always the rule follower. I was always the calm and collected one. I was the one who was um, the teacher's pet, or the one that would follow instructions right away. And I hated when all these other people would act out, like when I was in school. I hated when these people would just fool around and do nothing, and then I was there being well behaved. I had so many teachers, I had so many adults in my life that looked at me like, oh, you're so mature, you're going to go so far in life. And I look back and I realize I never got to be a kid. I never got to be this person that when people normally get to experience in childhood. And I it now affects me to this day, where I can't go back and relive those years. And now I've seen so many people, and so many people watching this have seen the past few years of my life, me breaking down on social media, because I went from having this more stable life. It was very traumatic. The life I had lived as a child until I left home at 19, through school and at home, was very traumatic. And as soon as I left that, I was free to do whatever I want. And I just broke down because there was nothing. I didn't know who I was, because all I was called is this just very mature. And being mature doesn't get you very far in the real world. Because, yeah, I mean, you see what the world's like now, and being mature just does not get you very far. So that's how I identified as myself, is being called mature. And being this person that people would come to. Even as recently as last week, someone thought I was much older than I am, because of the way I carry myself and because of how I act and how I respond. And then just my knowledge around things. Like, I shouldn't, at 24, I should not have these people think I'm so much older. Like, I look around 24. Um, and these people think I'm much older, like I'm 40, like 35, 40, when just because of how I carry myself and who I am. Like, and I know that so many people who are watching this too know that these past few years I had gone through a whole mental breakdown online. I got engaged at 18 because I thought that was the mature thing to do. I was pregnant at 19. I got married at 19. I was a mom so early. I had a baby because I thought it was the mature thing to do. I was like, okay, let's get into life. Let's do all this stuff, because I didn't know who I was going to be. And calling kids mature for their age does more harm than it does good. I wish that adults in my life had not looked at me and called me mature. I wish that they would have told me to go be a child. I wish I could have just been a child for a little bit longer. I wish I could go back and be a child again to experience more childhood stuff that I never got to do. I was never a partier. I was never this person to go out and do all these fun things with friends. I did some things with friends, but not that much. I was never a person like maturity did not get me very far. I I haven't had a job because I've been a stay-at-home mom for the last 4 years, 4 or 5 years of my life. I have been it's just nothing, and I'm finally going into university and I'm starting university in the next month, and this is the first time I've been doing schooling in the last like 4 years, because I thought maturity would get me further in life than it did. Calling kids mature does more harm than good, and I am trying to raise my kids to know that they can be a child, that they can act as a child, and that they do not need to know what's right and wrong right away. Um, they will, I mean, I do teach them what's right and wrong, but not to the point of you need to act like an adult. You need to behave like an adult. That's not right. They need to be a child and they need to grow into being an adult. There's no reason that a 13-year-old should be giving adults life advice. There is no reason. There absolutely not. And I don't understand why in my life that has happened so many times as a child, as a teenager. And I hope that my children can grow up, live life as a child, grow into a teenager, then grow into an adult, and they won't have the same experiences I did, with the life of being called mature for their age, or putting that on a pedestal, because being put on a pedestal like that just did not work. And this is a very common experience with people who are autistic, because who are autistic tend to appear more mature because they have the ideas of what they want to do in life. They should be encouraged to live the life as a child. They should be encouraged to live the life as a teenager. They should not be told, you are mature for your age, you're going to go far with that. They need to live the life as a child first, so that they're going into the world with a complete personality and not just basing it all around one thing. And I hope this might help somebody, or someone. I know that there's people that will probably resonate with this. If you do, just let me know in the comments, and I really hope you all have a great rest of your day.